Hello everyone, welcome to my channel SW Metro official channel.
Robyn Brown's secret jealousy uncovered, why she couldn't stand Janelle and Meri all along. Robyn Brown's presence on Sister Wives has always been a lightning rod for controversy, drawing viewers into the complex and often turbulent dynamics within the Brown family. While her critics have often painted her as the antagonist, digging deeper reveals a more nuanced, psychological layer to her behavior. Specifically, a secret jealousy that may have fueled her long-standing friction with Janelle and Meri, two of Kody Brown's first wives. Robyn's jealousy is not simply petty envy, rather, it stems from the multifaceted emotional challenges of being the youngest wife in a polygamous family, the struggle for Kody's attention and approval, and the insecurities bred by her place in a complicated family hierarchy. Understanding Robyn's secret jealousy offers profound insight into why she couldn't stand Janelle and Meri all along, despite outward expressions of camaraderie or civility. At the core of Robyn's jealousy is the reality that, unlike Meri and Janelle, who have been with Kody for decades, Robyn entered the Brown family much later, stepping into a complicated emotional landscape that was already well established. Meri and Janelle had spent years building their own unique bonds with Kody, establishing a sense of permanence, history, and shared memories that Robyn had no choice but to inherit and contend with. This placed her in a position where she was constantly compared, not only in terms of her relationship with Kody but also in terms of her worth and role within the family. As the youngest wife, Robyn faced the difficult task of carving out her own identity without erasing or disrespecting the existing wives' legacies. This tension naturally bred jealousy, not merely from selfishness but from a profound fear of invisibility and inadequacy. Jealousy, in Robyn's case, can also be understood through the lens of emotional survival in a polygamous marriage. In such a complex family structure, attention, love, and resources become precious commodities fiercely sought after by each wife. Robyn's deep desire to be Kody's primary partner and the woman who receives his full devotion set her apart and created a battleground with Meri and Janelle, who naturally resisted ceding the roles they had cultivated over many years. This competition was never overtly spoken about but manifested in subtle digs, pointed remarks, and emotional distance. Robyn's jealousy was often masked by sarcasm or dismissiveness, but beneath the surface lay a desperate longing to prove herself and secure her place not just as one of Kody's wives, but as the one who mattered most. Additionally, Robyn's jealousy can be linked to the way Kody himself handled his relationships with his wives. Kody's behavior, which sometimes appeared to favor certain wives over others or to foster rivalry for his affection, only exacerbated Robyn's insecurities. It is well documented that Kody's favoritism shifted over time, and at various points, Robyn was seen as the new favorite, which stirred resentment from Meri and Janelle. Yet, this dynamic placed immense pressure on Robyn to maintain that favored position, fueling jealousy whenever she perceived Janelle or Meri receiving more attention, sympathy, or respect. Kody's inconsistent emotional availability and his tendency to pit his wives against one another inadvertently fanned the flames of jealousy, leaving Robyn to grapple with feelings of inadequacy and the fear of losing her place. One cannot overlook the social and public scrutiny that Robyn faced as well. Unlike the earlier wives, who had established themselves in the public eye as original members of the Brown family, Robyn had to contend with constant judgment from fans and viewers who often sided with Meri and Janelle. This external validation, or lack thereof, played into her jealousy. When fans showed empathy for Meri's struggles or cheered on Janelle's efforts to maintain stability in the family, Robyn perceived it as a personal slight, deepening her resentment and fueling the belief that she was the underdog in her own marriage. The toxic cycle of public opinion and personal insecurity created an environment where jealousy thrived, as Robyn fought not only for Kody's love but also for acceptance from the extended Sister Wives audience. Moreover, the jealousy Robyn harbored was compounded by the divergent life experiences and roles each wife played within the family. Meri's history of emotional vulnerability, marked by previous separations from Kody and her struggles with acceptance in the family, evoked sympathy from many. Janelle's nurturing role as a mother and stabilizer of the family earned her respect and admiration. Meanwhile, Robyn was often seen as the disruptor or the newcomer, which set her apart in a less flattering light. These contrasting narratives intensified Robyn's jealousy as she battled with the perception that she was the outsider who had to prove her worth continually. Her attempts to assert dominance or control often came across as hostility towards Janelle and Meri, who represented the secure past she wished to rewrite or overshadow. Another layer to Robyn's jealousy lies in the gendered expectations and cultural pressures around polygamy. Society's mainstream view on polygamy often emphasizes competition among wives, creating a zero-sum mindset where love and resources are limited and must be divided. While many polygamous families work hard to avoid such conflicts, human nature and social conditioning mean that jealousy is an ever-present risk. Robyn's jealousy, then, can be partially attributed to internalizing these societal messages about rivalry and scarcity. The feeling that she must outperform or diminish Janelle and Meri to ensure her own survival as a wife became a source of constant emotional tension. This was exacerbated by the family's portrayal on Sister Wives, where conflict often makes for compelling television, possibly encouraging Robyn to express her jealousy more openly or dramatically than she might otherwise. Psychologically, jealousy in polygamous relationships often stems from attachment insecurity. Robyn's jealousy can be traced to a fear of abandonment or rejection by Cody. As a younger wife, she may have felt especially vulnerable, worried that her place in the family could be tenuous or temporary. This insecurity can manifest as distrust toward other wives, suspicion of their intentions, and the need to guard her relationship fiercely. Jealousy then becomes a defense mechanism designed to protect herself emotionally. Robyn's secret jealousy towards Janelle and Meri was likely an unconscious attempt to manage her fears by trying to control the dynamics between the wives, ensure Cody's loyalty, and maintain a semblance of security in an otherwise unstable situation. It is also important to recognize that Robyn's jealousy was not entirely without merit or justification. The long history and deep emotional bonds Meri and Janelle shared with Cody gave them a degree of influence and comfort in the family that Robyn had yet to earn fully. Their entrenched roles and shared experiences made it difficult for Robyn to integrate without feeling overshadowed or minimized. For instance, Janelle and Meri's ability to draw on decades of shared family memories and navigate the family's complex social networks sometimes left Robyn feeling isolated or left out. The natural human desire to be valued and prioritized created fertile ground for jealousy, as Robyn perceived herself competing not just for Cody's affection but also for a sense of belonging within the entire Brown family. Further complicating the jealousy was the fact that Meri and Janelle, at times, openly expressed displeasure or distrust toward Robyn, which would only deepen the divide. Whether through subtle criticisms or outright conflict, the friction between them created a feedback loop where Robyn's jealousy grew in response to perceived hostility. This dynamic made genuine reconciliation difficult, as each woman guarded her emotional territory jealously. Robyn's secret jealousy thus existed alongside a reciprocal distrust and tension, producing a toxic family environment that played out in front of viewers and fueled the drama the show thrives upon. In addition, the jealousy Robyn felt toward Janelle and Meri may have been magnified by her own personality traits and coping mechanisms. Robyn has been portrayed as assertive, occasionally abrasive, and determined to assert her role in the family on her own terms. While these qualities can be strengths, they may also reflect a defensive posture designed to mask vulnerability. Jealousy, in this light, becomes an emotional response that is channeled into confrontation and control. Rather than openly admitting her fears or insecurities, Robyn's interactions often appeared as attempts to undermine or belittle the other wives, which viewers could interpret as hostility rooted in jealousy. The media portrayal of Robyn also played a significant role in amplifying her jealousy. Reality television editing tends to highlight conflict, tension, and drama to captivate audiences, often at the expense of nuance. This means that Robyn's moments of jealousy, frustration, or anger were likely emphasized and replayed, reinforcing the perception that she was the antagonist in her relationships with Janelle and Meri. The constant spotlight and narrative framing can deepen feelings of isolation and resentment, as Robyn might have felt misunderstood or unfairly judged. This, in turn, could intensify her jealousy, as she struggled to assert her identity and defend her place both in the family and in the public eye. Furthermore, the jealousy Robyn experienced was not static but evolved over time as the family's dynamics shifted. Initially, she may have approached her role with hope and optimism, but over time, the realities of competing for attention, respect, and resources likely eroded that optimism. As the Brown family faced financial struggles, personal losses, and shifting alliances, Robyn's jealousy may have deepened as she perceived the stakes to be higher. The possibility of losing Cody's favor or being sidelined in the family narrative became increasingly threatening. This long-term buildup of jealousy explains why Robyn's conflicts with Janelle and Meri appeared more intense and persistent as the seasons progressed. Another important aspect to consider is the role of motherhood and family responsibilities in Robyn's jealousy. Meri and Janelle both had adult children with Cody and shared extensive parenting histories, which granted them a significant stake in family decision-making and emotional ties. Robyn, though a mother herself, was navigating a different stage of motherhood and relationship dynamics. This disparity sometimes made her feel excluded from key family discussions or traditions, intensifying feelings of jealousy over what she perceived as favoritism toward the original wives. The struggle for inclusion and recognition in the family's legacy created additional tension, with Robyn feeling she needed to assert herself more aggressively to claim her rightful place. In sum, Robyn Brown's secret jealousy toward Janelle and Meri is a deeply human response to the unique and challenging circumstances of polygamous marriage and family life. It stems from a complex interplay of emotional insecurity, competition for love and attention, social scrutiny, family legacy, and personal identity struggles. Rather than simply being the villain, Robyn's jealousy reflects her attempts to survive and thrive in a difficult environment where love and loyalty are constantly negotiated and contested. Her resentment toward Janelle and Meri is less about personal dislike and more about her need to be seen, valued, and secure in a family that often left her feeling like an outsider. Understanding this jealousy gives viewers a more compassionate perspective on Robyn's behavior and the family drama that unfolds on Sister Wives. It reveals that beneath the public conflicts are real emotional wounds, fears, and desires that resonate with anyone who has experienced insecurity in relationships. Robyn's secret jealousy is a testament to the complicated realities of polygamous marriage, where love is abundant yet competition remains fierce. It is a story of struggle for identity, recognition, and belonging, one that continues to captivate audiences and shape the evolving Brown family saga. Robyn Brown, known as the youngest and fourth wife of Cody Brown on the TLC reality series Sister Wives, has long been a subject of intrigue and controversy among fans. Her entry into the Brown family brought a complex blend of emotions and dynamics, not least because of the heavy luggage she appeared to carry from her past. Robyn's personal history, especially regarding her first marriage and her finances, has raised questions and skepticism among viewers and even within the family itself. This essay explores the nuances behind Robyn Brown's narrative about her prior marriage, her controversial portrayal of polygamy, and the financial burdens she reportedly brought into the Brown family, while analyzing why fans and the other wives have found her story confusing or even unconvincing. Robyn Brown's first marriage, the story she told. Before becoming Cody Brown's fourth wife, Robyn was married to David Jessup. She described this union as polygamous in intention, but the reality was quite different. According to Robyn, she and David planned to live a polygamous lifestyle with multiple wives, but that ideal never materialized. In her telling, the marriage was unstable, which prevented them from moving beyond a monogamous relationship. This explanation was Robyn's way of framing her first marriage as a polygamous experiment gone wrong. At face value, this story fits within the broader framework of Sister Wives, which revolves around plural marriage, specifically the challenges and nuances of polygamous living. However, Robyn's narrative has not been universally accepted, and many fans have found it difficult to reconcile with the facts that emerged from the show and public interviews. First, Robyn claimed the instability of her first marriage was the reason no additional wives joined them. However, fans pointed out that she and David had 3 children together and remained married for several years. If the marriage was truly as unstable as she claimed, it raised the question of why they stayed together so long. This longevity cast doubt on her assertion that the relationship was too shaky to bring in other wives. Second, Robyn's definition and understanding of polygamy seemed inconsistent. While she labeled her first marriage polygamous, she and David never actually practiced plural marriage as the Browns did. This fact raised eyebrows, especially considering Robyn later presented herself as somewhat of an expert on polygamy. She offered advice and opinions on polygamous relationships, even though she had never experienced it firsthand until joining Cody's family. Robyn's false expertise on polygamy? Robyn Brown